Cyborg's left.
Loop choke.
That could be tight there.
This may be it.
He's got it on. It's a tap.
It's over.
All right, guys, so let's look at one of my favorite attack combos from the collar sleeve if my opponent is on like both knees or one knee up. It's the loop choke triangle omoplata combo. Okay, guys, before I get into the technique, if you like the content, please like it. It helps a lot in promoting the videos. Cool. Okay, so a lot of times, if you guys see my other content on collar sleeve, a lot of times we're looking, you can stand up real quick. A lot of times we're looking at what to do if the guy's standing and how to attack from here, right? But sometimes the guy will go to both knees, so just go to both knees. Right? So the difficulty in both knees is you don't have the daily Heva hook options as much, right? So I can't do like the backwards off balance and the overhead stuff, bolos, all of that's more difficult. You can hold the pants, right? All of that stuff can be more difficult, right? But also it can be more difficult to attack the triangle in omoplata because he's really stally. Like he pulls the elbow really tight. When he's down like this, kind of get your butt low and pull your elbow tight. Yeah, when he's down like this, it's really hard to force that arm out, right? So it can be very difficult. So what I like to do when the guy's down on both knees like this is I add the loop choke thread in a lot, okay? So if I can get my foot on the hip here, you're perfect right there, right? So if I can get my foot on the hip here like this, keep your elbow tight. Right? Sometimes I can kind of pull this sleeve out and I stretch out and I can open this and now I can shoot in and start chasing the omoplata. If he lets go of this leg, it could turn into a triangle, right? So I can start being really aggressive there, especially if I can get the foot on the hip. But if his elbow's already tight and I can't get my foot on the hip and I have this lasso, I can try to pull to get in, but it's really difficult. Go that way a little bit so the camera can see. Keep your elbow tight, yeah. So it can be really difficult to pull that in, right? So now I have this lasso and usually the reason it's so difficult is he's kind of down, yeah, exactly. The more he's down, the harder it is to pull this out. But what I do is I lower this grip on the lapel just a bit here and I can have a lasso, this leg can be out, and I'm gonna sit up really quick on my elbow. When I sit up on the elbow here, now I just jump and pull the head into this loop choke here, right? And I can have both legs over. In fact, I like both legs over. It's really hard for him to get out now. This is a really easy finish from here. Mergali does this all the time. He tapped out Cyborg with this. I don't remember what it might have been King of the Mats. I don't remember what tournament it was. But it's a really, really good combo, right? And it works really good too because after I do it a lot from the lasso if I'm on the outside. If I have the foot on the hip too, I can do it as well. Pull your elbow tight. If he's like this and like I have the foot on the hip but I can't pull it out, same thing. I can sit up really quick here, right? And see I have a lower grip. Now my wrist can kind of do this to get around his neck, right? So I go here, jump around, and as I go up here, I just really quickly jump to get this over. My left arm goes through and under my elbow. I'll show another angle in a minute. Right now I can jump over, pull here, and finish. If nothing else, often he'll roll over and you'll get a sweep, okay? So again, we're here. If he's on the lasso like this, right? Okay, I'm here, I can't quite get this. I sit up and go here, right? Boom, catch, and go for the loop choke, right? We'll do it on the other side. Right, so we're here, he's on both knees, elbow tight. Right, so I got the foot in the bicep. Sometimes I could even be knee shielded here. When I have the knee shield here, I have also the wheel sweep threat, but same idea. I can be in the bicep here like this, right? Maybe he even tries to dig an underhook on this leg, start digging an underhook, something like this, right? If I have the knee shield, look, I come up and I do this with the wrist, right? So drop this real quick, right? I do this, right? As I do this, I kind of pull down and I get my chest high and I catch over the head here and I go under there. Now it's easy to fall back, go here, and I just pull up and I get the nice tap, right? The other benefit with this, I'll do it one more time at this angle. So he's here, maybe I get the foot on the hip, his elbow's tight, maybe I'm knee shielding here. He tries to dig an underhook. When he tries to dig the underhook, just keep the knee shielded. It makes it hard for him to lift you. I sit up, wrist tight, catch, go for the choke. One more thought here, go over here, is that as guys start to respect this, what'll happen is, get it with knees, right? So pull your elbow tight, is as I start to come up here, he'll posture up a lot more to try to get away from it. But this makes it way easier to start pulling the omoplata or the triangle in, right? Because the more you threaten that loop choke, then the harder it is, because he's gonna be here with his elbow tight, right? So then as you threaten the loop choke, he's gotta come up. But then when he comes up like this, he's in a deleveraged position to keep this elbow tight, so it opens. So the threat of that loop choke and the triangle omoplata together is super powerful. The one other combo I would throw in with this, keep the elbow tight. The one other combo I would throw in with this is my right foot could either be in the bicep or knee shielded. But when you're knee shielded as well as the loop choke and the triangle, I have also a wheel sweep. And now sometimes I'll catch it by just clipping the leg out and going here, come back up. Depending on if I had the foot on the hip, sometimes I can get this angle here and get my foot on his knee to push out to try to go for the wheel sweep to the left here. Go back up, let's scoot this way just a bit. okay? I can push the knee out to go forward here, or I can use this to go back to the hip, come back in and chase the triangle, okay? But having that loop choke threat, it just adds so much extra danger when the guy's on one knee up or both knees. You can do it on one knee up. It's a little bit harder, but also when they're in one knee up, you can do the daily Heva hook and stuff. I'll try to do another video on how to deal with the one knee up specifically. But just adding that loop choke in, understanding that anytime the guy's head down, sometimes even if he's standing, if he's just really hunched over, you can always jump for that. And usually the more you threaten it, the more the triangle and omoplata open up. Okay, guys, if you guys have any other comments or questions, please let me know for future techniques or related to this question. All right, guys, thanks a lot.